Hello everyone, in this lesson we will go through the operators. Let's open our IDE. So firstly probably go through the binary operators first, and then we will check some of the unary operators. Let's just create one variable and probably we want to mention which ones we want to take a look. Plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus are probably the most common one. So obviously you can just give it a value, print it out, and check the result just like that. You can try yourself any of those. Division, for modulus. One thing to mention in here is that if you actually divide these two numbers, the floating number is actually the resulting value, but since we are giving as an int, so as I said earlier, these numbers are automatically saved as an int, even if after the division. So even if I put int here or the byte, it will always give us the same results, as well as even if I put it as double, it will still be saved as int. Then converts to double, but the value is still the int because it's not storing the floating point value, unless we say one of the numbers are floating point number. Only after that it will convert both of them to the higher data type, meaning this is int and this one is double. So it will convert this one as well to double, and then calculates the division and will be assigned to the variable p. Same applies, doesn't matter on which side of the operator is the value. So, and modulus is just will save the it will leave out the remainder and just saves the whole number of the division. Okay, so here I probably have to mention a couple of things. Since we're dealing with only the literal values, let's say with 5. So these are treated as literal values, and that's why once the value is added, although it's resulting as an int, it will automatically convert it to byte. But it's not the same if we work with variables, because if I add here, if I try to use the b variable in here, it will not be automatically converted to int anymore, because this one is the variable and it may actually change. So from my understanding, the compiler cannot automatically convert this value to the byte. It will just keep it as an int, so it will be converted to byte, and operands operands will be converted to int, and then the int plus int operation will result in int, and it will not be byte anymore. In this case, it will not automatically convert, like in the case of literals. And also one thing to keep in mind is that, as I said last time, if the value is higher than the max value of the type, it will result in quite a strange number. So if you add one of the max values, then obviously, as you can see, it will be treated as int. We can still try to convert it to byte to see what will actually be resulted. Wait a minute. So, because it says this one is int itself, because it cannot store it in. Let's put it like this. Silk gives an int. What I was trying to prove, I just wanted to show that if you add the value to the maximum, it should have given the minus value. Yeah, I cannot show it on the byte. I can only show it in int, and it only in the case like this, int max value +1, and if you add the +1 to the int value, it will give us the minus. I'm sure I can do the same for the byte. It will give you a 128, because it's actually converting to int, so that's why it's stored as an int. Anyways, the point is, if the max value is for the byte is, we know it's from -27 up to 128, and if you add one value, it will result to -27. The same for the -1. If you add -1, it will come back to the 128. So this is the thing we want to keep in mind. Okay, anyways, so we went through these basic mathematical operators. Now, one thing I wanted to also mention is that, as I showed you earlier, if I put I 5 plus 2, was it byte? Yes, it was byte. So let me give it this. If the value is like this, and if you try to put the b in here, it will not take it because it will be treated as an int. But there is a workaround here. If we say like this, if you save it like this, there will not be an issue. But as it is, it will try to convert it to the int. Anyway, so compound assignment operator is actually helpful because it automatically converts the value to the type of the assigned parameter. Okay, so let's go through one of the conditional operators. What are they? So if I say byte I equals 7, that means I can use our condition operators, meaning if I is higher than b. And it's true, but it's not true other way around. So it's going to give false. So the next operators we are talking is the conditional operators. Same applies this. And for logical operators, logical conditional operators, we can use and, or, maybe equals, not equals. So here we can just check whether it's equal or not. As you can see, it's not. If you say not equals, then it will return to true. And these operators are actually only used on logical operators. That's why logical operands. That's why if you try to use them, it will not work unless you give it a Boolean value. Let's say true. This one, let's say true. So true and true and will be true. So this operator is like it's also called logical multiplication. So that's why in order to this operand result in true, both of the operands has to be true. Otherwise, it will return false. And about or, at least if at least one of these variables are true, it will result in true. So it will true, and only case it will be false is if one of both of them are false. And when we're talking about this one, you probably have to mention one of the cases is that if we give the value, let's say we have byte b, and this one is false, right? This one is null, and we want to say that if b not null, then only you want to take one of its value. Let's say let's say 3, 4. Yeah, if we use this as it is, it will work. But there is ordinary logical operators as well, like this logical AND, logical OR, and logical OR. It's also said exclusive OR. So in this case, if one of them is actually false, then the rest of the values will not be counted. So because if one of them of the left side is false, it will be resulted as false. So this part will not even be calculated. Probably the better example will be if we use string, and we're just gonna use b dot equals hello. All right. So so this is null. B is null, and the right side is not even calculating. But if you use the logical operator, this may gonna give us an exception, because in the logical AND, the both side will be calculated and will return the true only if both of them are true. So just be careful when you're using this logical operator. It has to be conditional AND. Okay, so now we want to talk about invert. It only works with Boolean variables, and if you want to return b as it is, it will be true, obviously, but if we invert it, it will be false. Now, so as I said earlier, if dealing with two values having different data types, Java will automatically promote one of the values to the larger of the two data types, and that's why the assigned variable has to be of the higher ones, not the lower ones, like we had in an example. And if you're dealing with int and the floating point numbers, like in here example, then the resulting value will be floating, meaning the higher ones will be used. Hence, we cannot use it as an int. But as a float, it works. And we can also print it, just to be sure. Alright. Next thing I wanted to show you is that okay, we talked about compound. Yeah, so the logical operators cannot be used on other types than Boolean, meaning if we say false not equal to string something, it will still be incorrect because it cannot be applied to Boolean and string. So it can be applied to it can apply to Boolean but not to the string. If you're comparing two string values, then it's better to use the method called equals instead of using this. We will talk about the equals operator and the equals, how they actually differ, because it's something about the value of the parameter as well as the reference of the parameter that holds to the value. Another thing is the parameter called instance of. That will just give us returns the Boolean value if the left variable instance of the right, meaning we know every single class type is a child of object, so that's why this m parameter and this m variable will be the instance of object. Now that's pretty much what I have for today. Yeah, let me know if you want to learn more about the operators, about the specific ones. Thank you.